So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's been well. We'll go with a quick roll call before we dive on in to pick up where we left off. Sergeant Tanuka,
Yes.
uh, my brain is actually blanking on your freaking ranks because you're like one of the only persons who didn't put your ranks. Gage slash Warren. I know Sergeant Warren
Yeah,
and Specialist Gage, if I remember right.
yeah, sure.
Specialist Calvin.
Corporal.
Hitman,
Yes.
you want to keep demoting yourself over there.
No, I'm fixing it.
um,
Corporal.
Mechanical Unit Tax and Private First Class Tewo.
Here.
And our currently rank not disclosed, just to keep teasing the said Private First Class. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that out of the gate. I'm assuming Echo actually is not in Discord with us yet.
Correct.
Haven't
Does not appear
seen
to be the
it.
case.
Correct.
Okay. Um, so if someone wants to ping her, do so. I currently don't have Discord pings because of OBS. But so where we last left off, the crew has taken care of their first objective after a undisclosed length of time dealing with Jake Galfred, someone who was infected with some rather nasty black goo. Uh, Samples are being returned to the Catch 22 headquarters. At the Lance and Shield head office on Affiliate Avenue. But there is a secondary mission to take care of. In between missions here, you are able, arriving at headquarters, to degub. Need you, those in charge, i.e., Sergeant Tanuka, needs to go and debrief. And it is up to you if you drag your comrades along for said debriefing,
Oh no, that's just asking for trouble.
or if you plan to debrief them at your own time.
My own time
Uh,
versus.
i.e., you get debriefed and then you pass the debriefing on along, kind of thing.
Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Oh, for like something new you're talking?
Well, the command's response to your mission report.
Oh, yeah, that'll probably just pass down because then they're not saying everything else that happened to make us look worse. No offense, but inevitably it's gonna happen.
Okay. For the record, Echo, as I said, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your character's current set name. I mean, Ivan's pretty straightforward. The first part's pretty straightforward, but I'm looking at the other one, like double I. Like that's a couple extra vowels. Like, squint.
That was the
Even Adiche?
Aidachi?
hold on, I have to pull up my character sheet to know how to pronounce it.
Otherwise, the equipment that was brought
Avon.
for the particular mission is to be brought in and your requisitions are to be turned in to avoid being charged for the equipment, as you are reporting a successful mission. So the said mission equipment needs to get turned in.
Yep, I'll do that. Go find a big cart.
You're welcome to delegate any of the other three current active uh, crew members whilst you go and hit the debriefs. If you want to try and time-wise tackle them at the same time.
Oh yeah, I think we should have Tax take stuff back, just because one, it's entertaining that Tax might get requisitioned back herself. Send the equipment to return the equipment.
All right, Tax, you've been taxed with the task.
Bravo,
Am I
Mutt.
allowed to do that?
You are allowed to return equipment, yes.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. Major Frederick Galton is awaiting you in his office whenever you are ready. Tanaka, you are briefly held outside the doors by his secretary. Who gives a couple knocks, gives you the look like he's on the phone. Give it a second. Knocks again.
Playing Candy Crush, and you know it.
Just, hey, all I said was he's on the phone. I didn't say what he's doing on the phone.
Exactly.
But he makes you wait about 5 minutes before finally letting you in, which is pretty quick, all things considered. He's a busy man. Now, to get our ducks in a row, you're sending the equipment with Tax to turn in to the armory. The samples and the body, what would you like done with that?
Let's remember. I mean, assume that we would know where we're supposed to be taking it. I mean, Warren is probably, well, he's not. He's somewhat of a rank, I think. He's probably the one I would send with more sensitive equipment or evidence.
Send who now?
Warren,
Warren.
Major.
Okay. So Warren, you're sent to the lab to drop off the gushy gubs. And the deceased. Well, I. By all means, Tanaka, please have a seat. Let's go ahead and run through this. I'm assuming your quick return is either your entire squad has been woefully exterminated, or you are here to report success.
Correct.
This is to Tanaka.
Oh, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're not that lucky yet. We're still here.
Were there any external issues regarding the mission?
Nope. No, looks like it was all contained. So the whole area got scrubbed. We got what we were after. Brought it back. The other techs cleaned up everything else. Overall, pretty successful. He just kind of, for the most part, hung out there in the building.
And the target's status?
I can't remember 100%. I thought that, I think we shot him. I'm trying to remember out of character what exactly went down, how we ended that. I think he was shot.
Dead, and I believe you burned the body?
Yes. Yeah. He was expired in a gunfight, and then to ensure no more exposure, he was doused with flamethrower to deal with the black substance.
And did you find the source of said substance at all?
Oh yeah, it looks like he is hired to store it in their facility in a barrel that matched some of the shop barrels, and the barrel got damaged in some maintenance and leaked out.
Okay. I'm assuming the 43rd has secured said barrel? Or did y'all bring it here?
I think we brought it here. It's been so long.
If
So
memory
busy.
serves, you did not bring it.
Right, I think we left it to them. Yep.
That must have been it. Okay. Yeah, the other techs had secured it to bring back since we didn't have proper equipment to transport a lot of it. We just took specifically what we were after. They had more containment materials.
Because of minimum pay and all that. Quotas! They had quotas! Alright. Any particular member that you would like to give commendation to or criticism for?
I feel bad for not remembering specifics. Granted, I didn't see anything that like Gage was doing. I think he was the one that was saying he was a higher rank than he was. Not that I would necessarily care, but I didn't see any of that. We had the gunfight. I mean, I think everybody performed as they usually do, which is always very well. They secured the threat, kept him pinned down, so he couldn't get anywhere. Cleaned up well, kept everybody safe.
Alright. I'll expect your written report by the end of the week. You're dismissed.
Oh. Okay. Salute or whatever and head out.
Any progress on Honeydew? Like, as you're exiting the door.
And that's the one we haven't really touched whatsoever. Yeah, I think we've got a lead or two, or planning to follow that up as soon as we got back here. Take a slight rest, head on out, have some more fun.
Alright. Try to keep my paperwork to a minimum.
I mean, hey, the less you make me write, the less you get.
Just waves you out.
Thank you, sir.
You walk out, the secretary is sitting on their phone, playing Candy Crush. We'll pan very quickly over to the armory with Tax. Did anyone else go with the mechanical unit? Or are we literally just sending the robot to handle this?
I think we just send the robot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm already trusting all of them with my life, so trusting them with the money, I don't feel bad.
Alright, Tax. As you arrive, the older fellow that was there at the time of requisition earlier in the morning, he has already left. You assume was the night watch, as it's roughly about going on a little after the midday. And there is an individual you are familiar with as a private first class Williams, a younger fellow in the logistics chain.
Well, I didn't keep an exact count of what was and wasn't used.
What? The
But
robot didn't just memory
no,
log
the
everything?
player. I tried. I'm actually looking at my notes. They're surprisingly meticulous, but they didn't take that detail in. Um, but I'd turn it in and explain each bit that's been used. I know that the air dart had like one trank shot used. Flamethrower was probably used.
um, to my knowledge, no one withheld any of the requisition gear back from you, including the grenades.
Correct.
Um, so all told, as first off, the young man is very perplexed why a mechanical unit, who, as we discussed, is equipment, is being tasked with logging and filing a squad's equipment. You keep seeing trying to check the list to see if you're on it.
Would be surprised.
What's the whole point of sending?
But officially speaking, he signs it off as unused gear returned. Your condition checks or passes inspection. Though the flamethrower could have used a better cleaning, he informs you, and insists that you forward that up to your operating officer. Which technically your operating officer is probably Tewo, who's not an officer.
Oof.
Oof. But she is the group's tech. Um,
Yep.
and informs you that you are hereby dismissed and to return to your locker. Said with that same question, uh,
I mean, I might just do that. I don't know if I was sent here with the insinuation that I needed to go to the place or return for the next mission.
I mean, I figure that's probably what most units do, but I mean, we would definitely encourage you just to wander about the place wherever we hang out. I assume,
yeah.
because screw the man, we
You
got to get to
have
know you.
a sort of lobby that you as a unit share, which would be there's one of two places that your mechanical unit is stowed. It's either going to be your tech's room as a literal locker, or in said lobby. I'll leave that up to y'all to decide. But panning while that mental calculation is and arithmetic is going, we pan over to the lab with Gage.
Right.
Inside, you have what you would expect a fairly pencil pusher, heavy sort of office environment. Um, Multiple layers of scanning while for your weaponry, the material that you're bringing in, making sure there's no loose hazardous materials. Um, the whole process takes almost a whole 15 minutes. You're sent through 2 decantams yourself. It's obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a punishment to be sent here.
I don't know. Don't have to talk to the higher ups.
Um, but inside there is uh, Sarah. Excuse me, trying really hard not to start hiccuping. Uh, Sarah Marfields, um, who is the sort of the liaison between the corporate side of Lance and Shield and unit activity. So the research section here is not not like militarized in any way. They're not a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, though you do recognize a few are sporting the 43rd's unit marking, as they do work most closely hand in hand with them.
Right.
But she is currently behind the desk. A about 27, 28-year-old, uh, red hair, uh, just a little on the chubbier side, but otherwise relatively fit. For someone who sits behind the desk as often as she does, well, stands behind the desk as often as she does, is just going through paperwork as you approach.
Right. Would this be the person that I'm supposed to like talk to and
This is your drop off point.
like turn this
Yes.
stuff in? Right. Um. So yeah, just wheel this stuff up, set it off. Stand waiting for her attention, and as soon as like make the eye contact, basically just say, "All right, got some samples that need to be stored.
Oh, well. Good morning.
Highly contagious.
Good
Um,
morning. No, good afternoon to you too.
yeah,
Uh, Goes digging through a stack of folders, hands you a turn-in sheet, basically to log what samples you're turning in, while taking a copy for herself and starting to go through the various tags on your containers to describe. And you see, she's very quick describing the container's condition, what appears to be inside it, as well as quantity.
right. What was the actual samples that we took?
Um,
Just like black sludge in a jar or
Black
something?
sludge in a jar and a vacuum sealed uh, flamed. What would be a way to describe it? Flamethrowered body. There's a better way to describe it.
Like one of those sealed body bag type things?
Yes.
Right.
Fire roasted.
Yeah.
Open grilled. But once she checks her notes versus yours, gives her copy of stamp and returns it to you. Which this basically works its way up the food chain from you to your squad leader to eventually
Right, right.
command. Um, and each time they should know that they need to make a copy to keep in their own files.
Mm-hmm.
But you have nothing to do with that as long as you don't lose this copy.
Yeah, I just give this to Moata.
Yep.
That's all I care about.
Will that be at anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
And you say it's a contagion, yes?
Yeah, I would run all that technical stuff, make sure, it's not spread.
Uh, Normal Earth options, Echo. Um, The whole time she's like keeps eye contact on you while her hands are running on a keypad. Eventually, two lab techs come, take the sort of gurney roller that your samples are on. Well, that will be all. Uh, have a
Yep.
nice day.
Yep. Time to head back for R&R.
All right. So that would lean towards, I guess, Calvin hitting the lounge first, since he was one of the only ones not tasked with doing anything.
Yeah.
So you are introduced, or the first to witness, the self-proclaimed, and I quote, explosive housewife. So if you, as Calvin enters the room, be so kind to describe. And this is when you think of lounge, there is a couple sofas. There's a TV, handful of games kind of spread around for, again, R&R. There's a not supposed to be here, but for some reason is here, bar, and like a little kitchenette area.
Okay. Is everyone else wearing their weapons or no?
A individual walking in walks in what is supposed to look like armor, but for some magical reason, there is no armor involved. But
Something. I ain't proficient in it.
but it's not common to walk around the compound with your primary, your sidearm should be on you, but your large weapons aren't like normal carryabouts.
I forget what my sidearm is.
I'm talking about
Well,
the
my
people with
sidearm's
like
a grenade launcher,
yeah, like
so
a 50 caliber
Yeah.
rifle slung across their back. Your sidearm's for show.
Exactly.
Feel like he's got like that the like officer revolver, like super ornamental. Probably has fired it once just to
But
prove that it works.
guess what? Good, I actually have a revolver.
Uh huh.
Like, look, I got a +1 to hit with this thing.
Hey, it's better than -1.
Yeah, or the 0 I would have had.
Yeah. So Echo, if you go ahead and describe Avon.
Ivan Ash. Um, crap. I forgot some of the stuff that was in the backstory. Very religious young woman, wearing a, guess normal armor / clothes, and with a what looks like a grenade launcher, strapped to like the side of her hip. I don't know what else to describe.
Physical attributes: height, hair
Uh,
color, face.
Average height, black hair. Has some red tattoos on her face, going across the like just above the bridge of the nose.
For the record,
Wearing
Calvin, you've never seen this person before.
wearing a golden bangle with 3 triangles on it.
Blink, blink, blink. Can I help you?
Am I already contracted here, or is it me signing up?
Remember how I sent the word test? There was supposed to be a follow up once I confirmed that that worked. There's a follow up.
She's got a blue manila folder uh, under her arm, and she walks up to the front desk and like hands it to you. whoever the desk clerk is.
Calvin's standing at the door. She walks over to like the kitchenette counter and puts the folder down.
Is that where
We,
he's
def-
at?
No, he just walked in the lounge.
we definitely have no desks.
No desk. No desks allowed.
Okay. Well, then instead of walking up to a desk, I'm like, I have transfer orders. Who do I give them to?
Hey, Mo, who do I give them to?
Probably your sergeant. Technically, you can receive them, Corporal.
Does he have like a badge or something?
He does have his rank insignia and its unit marker, so he clearly identifies as part of the unit this lounge belongs to.
Okay, so he's probably the only one with insignia on, right?
He's the only one in the room to boot.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him then and be like, Avanash, have transfer orders.
I will take the folder, do a quick. I assume I'm allowed to read it. The orders.
Does Muada trust you to read said transfer orders? Or do you care whether he trusts you?
I read the orders real quick. How Muada.
Yeah. It doesn't give any details. She is a specialist rank. You see sniper training, a few other details. We'll have to crack down the hard reason why you were moved to the Catch 22s. But it appears to be moved from a completely separate Lance and Shield office.
I'll give Sarge a quick call on comms, like, Sarge, we got a transfer. Here. Right now.
Here, right now.
Are you using like the sub vocal comms? Because I just mentioned the face, like, right now, like literally right now.
Because I assume we were not told anything about a transfer.
Nope.
You know anything about a transfer?
For the record, the paperwork, it all adds up. It looks right. It looks exactly
Yeah.
like your dossier, minus a few like black bars.
Is this transfer going in or out?
In.
No one leaves the 22s.
No.
Maybe that's it.
Mohana's just like, yes, they finally approved. I can go back to the Aether.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
For the record, this would have been just as you're leaving from the major's office, Tanaka, that you got this call.
Okay.
So, Tewo, you're free to walk in at any time, as either you or Tax, as you would have arrived at the armory to deal with that first.
I'll be there in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Are they hot?
I ignore that
Do I
question
hear him
completely.
ask that?
Do you what?
Do I hear him ask that over the comms?
You are currently not. For the record, you can tell he's using comms. It's not super subtle from this very very stealthy individual. You're confident they are not on the channel they're supposed to be on.
Okay.
Sarge will be here in a minute. Feel free to make yourself comfortable.
I'm gonna go check if there's liquor at the bar.
I think that would be probably Gage and Warren's purview of what's on the bar.
There probably would be for downtime, but I mean,
Probably a lot of darks, I'd imagine. Are you of legal drinking age? That's the first. And the robot walks in behind you. Is like, excuse me.
Depends on the country.
Ah, yes, indeed.
But no, I am legal drinking age.
I don't stalk him for deniability. Exactly, Tanaka.
And I figure on the way back I would have spent the time to regain mana.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a solid 10 or so minutes before the majority of you start to arrive. Major Warren is probably, I'd assume, either in his bunk, enjoying the morning off as he wasn't dragged off for the mission, or doing something that totally is within regulations. Um, and Tewo,
Is
you'd be
that why
coming
we're in the
in.
catch-22s?
There's the Catch 22s have a I want to say a stigma, but they definitely have a reputation. Noted, Mwada. And Tewo, you'd be just coming off of your morning patrols, having assisted the local police force.
I don't have my accent prepared today,
Okay.
but thank goodness I'm away from those blues. They were awful. Don't tell them that.
As you arrive, there is a new person who's just breaking in effectively to the bar. Vodka
No
is
one
not all
stopped
that
me.
expensive now. And yeah, and the people that would stop you haven't actually they're just now getting into the room. So whichever cowboy hat you're coming down as, Scorgan,
right.
there is a woman at your bar pouring herself a scotch.
So I kind of missed her description, but is it pretty accurate to the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
It's average height, so probably like 5'6", 5'7".
5'4", 5'5".
That's not average anymore.
Is everyone taller in the future?
No, that everyone's taller now.
Apparently.
Who install her now?
Yeah, the standard changed in the last decade. People are getting
5'5".
taller.
Okay, so we'll nip it at like 5'5"? Question mark? 5'4",
5'5".
5'5"? 5'4.5". There you go.
Okay. So now that we like refer it to in the future, how much?
What's that in
How
the metric
sub-average
system?
is it now? No. Um. Um. Probably gonna be John. I'm assuming that's probably gonna be walking in first, and he's gonna be looking for Moata to hand in the paperwork. But he sees the new person there. And is there like any of the normal 22s here?
Um,
Yeah, I'm in the
Tewo's here,
corner.
Calvin's here. Tax, I'm assuming just... I haven't decided whether Tax's locker is in Tewo's room or here in the lounge. I don't care if you
Who's
like
tax?
point the robot that asked you if you were of legal age.
Okay.
Yeah, tax. Uh, so Calvin, who's the kid and why is she
New
drinking
transfer.
alcohol? Where's Muada?
Debrief on the way here.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess that makes you the ranking officer. Here's the paperwork for turning in the barbecue. Um, I'll let you take care of that.
I will put it
Um,
on top of the Manila folder.
so why do we have a kid?
Apparently,
Did I
they're a
hear
new
him?
person.
New
Did I
job?
hear him say that?
I have a feeling he's not being subtle.
No.
No, transfer in.
What's she do?
I saw
Loud
sniper
throwing
noise.
noises.
I saw some sniper training. So, apparently sniper.
Right. I mean, that's what she's gonna do for us. But I mean, what did she do to get here?
Did it say?
You
I
didn't
see
get
that's
the
an important question.
yeah, you didn't get through
Yeah.
a through and through. I eat the tree of the player. Haven't hashed that out yet.
Uh huh.
Um,
This is all in
because
character.
for the
I
record,
know.
she's like one of the only ones here to not roll like pissed off a superior officer at some point.
Yeah.
Out of
Did I roll anything for that?
6 other characters, she's like one of the only ones to not roll that.
So she's a mole into our team, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's possibly.
But Mwada, you would be arriving about this time, hearing sort of the tail end of that conversation.
Yeah. I will go up and introduce myself. I am Sergeant Mwada Snaka. I lead this crew. We are the Catch 22s. We may not get along with everyone, but we get our job done.
Nice.
Oh no, she has a glass of scotch in her hand.
I set the scotch down
I
and go
see
to shake his
you've
hand.
already. I see you already started to get acquainted with everybody, and then trying to like read other people's face. I'm like, or you just beat everyone to the room.
No, I
I'll
think I'll
hold the folder
a
up.
little one here. But it's Evan Ash. Nice to meet you. Sniper first class. And then I shout over him, by the way, I'm here because I blew up the wrong wall.
Who was behind the wall?
They didn't tell me.
I mean, because that's normally what it takes to land you here.
Yeah.
Scare the new transfer.
Yeah.
But specialize in 50 cal and pulls out my cannon. This, and then I
Nice.
put it back in my pocket. Or
Do
on the strap.
sorry, what?
I have the cannon like strapped to my thigh.
Little grenade launcher.
Like Tomb Raider. Grenade launcher, not cannon.
Gotcha.
Hand cannon.
So one has basically like a. I think they probably made it slimmer, but to me, just for the fact that it can like do full auto and it's a pistol, makes me think a little bit of like the Judge Dredd pistol.
Well, mine's not a. Mine's just a single shot grenade launcher too, but
Yeah.
uh,
Attached
yeah,
to
mine's
another
just
pistol, or it's just a grenade launcher?
no, it's just a single
Like a breach action grenade launcher.
yeah, breach action grenade
Okay.
launcher.
Mine's more of a grenade pistol. Think like a flare gun, but not made of plastic. And
That's kind of
slightly
what I was
longer.
thinking mine looks at. I mean, obviously, something along those lines.
I like that your main sidearm is grenade launcher.
Mm-hmm. Just
So
like
yes,
to
two
point
people.
out, Sergeant, that because now 2 people in the squad requires grenades, we're gonna need at least 3 times as many for all requisitions.
How far did you get in math in school? Just curious.
How far?
Yeah, one more person is 3 times as many.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for a good grenade fight. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, because if there's 2 people using them, that means we're gonna be using twice as many per round as well.
I thought you said 3 times as earlier.
He did.
Maybe I heard it
It
wrong.
is.
Okay. Okay.
Does it keep
Mm-hmm.
going up every time he says it?
Okay, but see, think of it like
So,
this: if I get 3 grenades normally, right? That means we can shoot grenades for 3 rounds. But if we add another person into that, if all we had was 3, we'd only get 2 rounds. So we need 3 times as many.
mm-hmm.
As tax is being shoved out, I was like, just so you know, that's going to cost us. Taylor was just
Yeah,
shoving the robot out of the room.
yeah.
No, I think the rule is anytime tax corrects us, tax has to take a drink.
The robot?
Yeah.
No wonder, no wonder this poor robot can't stay repaired. I'll keep pouring fucking alcohol all over it.
Pure mineral spirits.
That explains so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah. Welcome. I don't know. We're a crew, and we function.
right.
We've all got what we're good at. I guess if you want a quick intro, the fun of leading the slots. I tend to specialize in a little bit heavier armament. Keep it up close, keep it light, keep it mobile.
Which one is Spaz?
Wada. The Master Chief
Okay,
icon.
Master Chief. Sounds good. That's about the opposite of what I do.
Works for me. I'm just gonna look around the room to somebody else because I'm assuming she doesn't really know our characters. In terms of giving her an intro to everybody.
Don't everyone do
Introduce
like that?
ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. My current character here, my name's Gage. Everybody just calls me Gage. I'm I just I eliminate targets in close proximity. Preferably rapidly before they have the option to do that to us.
Sounds like you're the life of the party.
Yeah. You'll probably meet the major later. He's a strange one. He really doesn't do much. He usually just kind of yells orders and tells people what to do. Likes to drag people around.
Isn't that every major?
Right. Now he's not a major, but
Okay.
but he's major. But me and him don't work together.
Good to know.
Then there's the nerd on the couch.
The nerd. Yeah.
Calvin. Nod my head. I tend to stay back. Says the robot.
Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be Kiara.
Say the robot's the one holding the sign up.
Right.
Says the mechanic. But yeah, I tend to focus on the more magic-y side of things. Here, I can do fire, I can heal, and I can make light.
So, stage magician.
How dare you?
Yeah. Stage position. Pretty much.
Only actual fire, actual radiant damage, and actual healing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, sure.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, that's what he says.
None of us have gotten hurt yet for me to prove it.
Yeah, you were the only one that gets shot.
You know what they say, geek the mage.
Uh-huh.
Now, someone in the room is going to have to describe Tewo and Tax as, again, they've exited the social scene by the cheaters.
Yeah, bye, nerds.
No one going to jump to describe the robot and the other specialist.
I don't blame them for not describing the other specialists,
Mhm.
since they haven't actually done a mission with her.
Yeah.
But, if I
So
recall correct. Sorry.
when no one speaks up, I'm like, so who are those two? Pointing at the specialist repairing the robot.
You'll note that she has a private first class marker. Just gonna throw that out there.
Why is it in bold?
It's not in bold.
What's in bold?
But it's the only one that gets pointed out.
No.
Everyone else are
She, she
no?
she asked if Calvin was wearing his. I said yes. Everyone
Oh,
has their
okay.
everyone that is wearing their uniform properly has their rank insignia on.
Okay, I'm just used to being called out about that.
But yeah, I don't think anyone's going to describe her for her. As you don't see
Oh,
like her working on the robot. You saw her taking the robot to another room to work on.
oh, so she's not here right now.
Correct. That's why I'm not having her describe because she's not there.
But the robot interacted with someone a second ago.
Correct. So you saw that picture, the little Nubian cat grabbing the robot, and like, come here, you duct taped piece of shit, and let's get you fixed.
I could not tell that that was a cat. It looked like somebody in like alien armor.
Oh, I see the ears now.
Can we get a blow up of that?
I don't.
I don't actually know.
Does that still work?
That works.
It's more of a fox than anything, but still.
Looks very Egyptian.
Yeah, I guess so. Kinda hit soon at times.
So I
Nice.
don't know. It's going on about
Initials.
1:30 in the afternoon. How do you plan to handle your circus there, Moata? Did he explode?
Sorry, I was just with Dizzy. I'm back. Um, yeah, go and take the transfer folder. Um, grab the red folder off the counter, and go, I guess, to his locker. Just toss him in for now and pull out whatever color it was that we had for information on honeydew. And as we're hanging out, go back over the information that we had on that so that we can look to run down any informational leads and get ready to go out and do some real footwork.
All right.
So, honeydew was a drug dealer, and Ross was an informant. We were charged with extracting them. Honeydew was a female. That was the extent of my notes. I looked back at the official file.
You are pretty on point. Yeah. Her files are still there in the notes section if you need it.
Is it?
Yep. You're looking for the folder Heather Zelda Jaden and M. Doc 22 10 10 23 02.
It's encouraged that there is discretion. That we use the civilian kit, and we need to return her here-ish.
It's not encourage, it is priority to be discreet.
I'll make sure to more directly quote it next time.
Yeah, well, I mean, advised and priority means like it's pretty much mission critical.
So go in quiet, less obvious.
Uh,
Shouldn't be too dangerous. Yeah, so I guess as well, this mentions a civilian kit is advised in terms of our gear. What does that mean?
That would mean not going in uniform for one, keeping your like personnel like ID tucked away somewhere in case you do need to identify yourself. Uh, Probably not showing up in the APV.
I was thinking if we got armor, that is probably well marked. Well, I guess as well, if we have heavier armor, it'd be pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean you don't have normal civvies walking around with bulky armor, um, hitting up clubs and whatnot.
So, common clothes with what we can conceal underneath.
Yeah. Pistols. Bigger things
So,
are gonna. Anything bigger is harder to conceal.
so Calvin comes as himself.
Yep.
Probably takes off the like,
I change coats.
yeah, the unit given robe or like
Right.
long coat.
Yeah.
Calvin comes as himself.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's after anything specific. In terms of things that we need to requisition in theory. So they've requested being extracted, so they should come willingly. So it's more of just if we have issues extracting them from wherever they are.
Right.
I would like to see about getting like some lightweight armor. The book lists like ballistic armor or like leather.
Okay, so to the armory.
Yeah, we need. I guess we would normally requisition ammo for our typical guns as well. Correct?
Yes, you're able to buy like
Okay.
for your personal carries. You're allowed to purchase ammo normally, but you may requisition. That will come out of your check for any uses.
Okay. Yeah. So I think for me it would just be lightweight armor. Doesn't give much protection, but it's at least a little bit.
Right. Who all are you assigning to the mission? And basically, who gets stuck on night patrol with the Blues?
I guess we definitely have Calvin, Ivan, even. Sorry, how do you pronounce her name again?
Just fan.
Oh, just Ven.
Fan, yeah.
Ven. Okay.
Like on the thing.
Oh, I see. If I would just look slightly to the side. I don't know if there's a preference between for Scorgan or Vigilant.
Probably John would be better on this mission with
Okay.
his how should I put this? His criminal past.
Less than reputable employment opportunities.
I just think he's going to be the better option on tracking down somebody in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those contacts.
So are you going to bring a robot or Tabo?
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if there is a civilian outfit for a machine, but
There is.
it is.
It's a mop and a bucket.
Oh,
And a blue hat.
Nope, doesn't even get a hat.
That's weird.
Yep.
Uh,
it'd probably get stuck with all the duct tape.
But has
That's
to
right.
constantly talk about some guy named Callus.
What's callus?
Don't worry about it. We'll explain later if you're still curious. But all right. So that means the mechanical unit gets to sit and recharge in its locker.
I was gonna say that it is better at stealth and all that. It would just have to remain out of sight. So it's like if things go wrong, it'd be good. That
Okay.
and I kind of don't remember how engineer works.
kinda don't remember how an engineer works.
I've got spells, okay, and I need to read them. Hang on.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
All right. All right. So I'll note you have two of um, Honeydew's like normal locations: the Calypso Lounge and Paradise Lost, both in Sector 4 of the city. You also know of two contacts, one of which is also a drug trafficker. Um, while they don't have like this links to this, etc., etc., you do have like their rough locations if you want to try and use them as a point of contact.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely defer to John's expertise. But I would think if we start going to people that know them, say, hey, we're looking for so and so, that might tip them off, might spread word of, I mean, if they know who's looking for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on if they're trying to keep them safe or they're trying to catch them as well. Or there's money in it for them to catch them.
Right.
I
I
mean,
mean, you don't want her to like, go underground, basically. Um,
Yeah.
I say we just if we know kind of where she hangs out, we go civilian, um, kind of canvass the place.
Yeah. If they are a informant, would we have like a phone on file that we could potentially try to look up?
they are being called in to become an informant. Yeah,
Okay.
they've not worked
That
with her
changes things.
before.
Right.
Um,
Are we going to potentially requisition non non-lethal means of bringing her in?
Yeah, hearing that, I was reading it the other way that they were already an informant and wanting to come in. They're not wanting to come in, but we want them alive. That would probably be helpful.
okay. In case my wording in the write-up is unclear, she requested extract, so you are correct in that. Like
Uh,
she needs pulled out discreetly. Um,
and for taking her out, the police force wants to flip her.
basically, on
Okay.
specifically a relatively specific drug trade. I need like 3
Okay.
minutes. Nature calls. I'll be right back.
Right. That'll give us time to talk. Um. So yeah, that kind of changes my thoughts too. If she's wanting to come in, then do I mean if she's wanting to come in, then we probably have a place that we should be like doing a meetup.
Yeah, I
If
would think
she,
unless like we can't get a hold of them, they've gone dark or quiet and couldn't be, contacted again for setting up the meetup.
Yeah,
I don't, I
because I
don't know the
mean,
circle.
if she's if if we know that she's like a dealer, we can attempt to try to locate her in that way. Ask around for whatever it is that she deals in, and say, hey, we're looking for the pixie um, to score some whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. as long as we're believable.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that doesn't seem like a cop. Granted, we're Catch 22 seems overall less like cops, but Gage could be figured out. Or not Gage. I'm thinking Moata.
Yeah, I mean, we could send in the kid. Most people aren't going to believe that a kid is part of the military. Or Calvin. I mean, he doesn't look military.
I may not be military, but I can't lie.
Wait, you can't lie because you're not military? Is that what I'm walking
No, I
into?
can't lie because I'm bad at it.
Oh.
What an upstanding nerd.
So, like,
More
persuasion
like,
is the issue?
yeah.
Lack of persuasion.
Well, he's a nerd.
I'll say the lie detector robot, as we previously found out.
So, yeah, so the robot's not coming exactly for that reason.
So, do we know? So, she is requesting to be extracted, but then, like, how did that fall apart that we don't have a location to pick her up at?
It's going to be you. Best are able to surmise that it should be one of those two locations.
Okay.
She is still a criminal. Still has to maintain a specific sort of facade to maintain, her life as she sees it.
So, to be clear, she requested to come in for some reason, and we're basically trying to do the pickup, but we're not exactly sure exactly where she's at, and we don't have a way of contacting her. But it's going to be one of those two locations, and we're supposed to attempt to kind of uphold the fact that so that she could basically remain in that, and we're just turning her into a informant potentially
Correct.
within the group. So we don't necessarily have to um, persuade her to become an informant. All we got to do is get her back in and try not to do it like a bunch of cops rolling up and arresting her, and then suddenly she just shows back up the next day.
Yeah, pretty much like, hey, so how'd you get out of jail so quickly?
Yeah.
That's not sketchy at all.
Yeah. She shows up like 5 minutes later. 5 or 6 people get picked up. Sure, that doesn't look suspicious at all.
Yeah, I'd say then potentially going to one of the other people could be good, saying that we're
Yeah.
looking for a buy. If one of those people are close to one of those two locations as well, they're more likely to send us to her.
Yeah. Do we know what she deals?
She deals in lower end narcotics, as well as services. I'll note there's two occupations up there.
Two occupations.
Hacker.
No.
Oh, I read that wrong. Oh, yep, never mind. I read the wrong parts.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
presumably has contacts with a hacker.
Yes.
Yeah. Drug escort.
I feel like I'm looking at something else.
Yeah.
I don't see drug escort.
She's a drug trafficker and an escort.
It's under
It's
occupation. It's up towards the top.
It's in personnel docs. The handout.
Heather, Zelda, Jaden, personnel doc.
Somebody spelled trafficker wrong.
Somebody wrote that up at like 2 in the morning, probably on a half bottle of Jack. And that's unfortunately not a that's a picture. It's not like a Word doc that I can go in and edit. It's done. It's already
Yeah.
a thing.
Why can't we have the accountants not have Jack while they're working?
Um, why is the like 7-year-old having scotch before she's even officially a member of the crew?
She's not 7.
It's not scotch.
She's like 35.
It's not scotch. It's just in a scotch bottle. It keeps reusing the same bottle over and over with whatever you can get.
The bottle says scooch on the side instead of scotch.
Scooch. Homemade scooch.
Yes, indeed.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi, back.
Great day. Well, in that case, we could try to get some services for Calvin. He seems a little bit lonely.
No.
First, you say no to science.
Again,
Yeah.
you don't want me doing the talking here.
You know, it was great knowing that I was going to make a joke that Calvin had brought in a girlfriend in the lobby.
Is her mother's name Maxwell?
No.
That's her. That's a contact.
Maxwell Waring is a second contact.
Okay.
Ariana Melkor is her adoptive mother. Per
Okay, I
files.
misread that as contacts. Ariana Melkor, her adoptive mother, Maxwell Waring, and drug trafficker.
Just some like that. This poor unfortunate soul is just named drug trafficker. Like, man, your
I've
parents
been trying to get
really,
out.
really fucking hated you.
It makes it hard to find a job.
Really, really does. Or makes it really easy. You know,
Yeah.
here the catch-22s are hiring.
Hired someone with an impronounceable name.
But anyhow, let's try and get the ball rolling here. What's the plan?
Pick one of the two places and go from there.
Yeah. I'm good to be lookout.
Sergeant?
Well, yeah, if Gage has some experience, especially if Calvin's, standing off a ways, we just say, it's for a gift, trying to get a gift for our friend over there. I mean, I guess either one could be a gift for him, because
Yeah, but I mean,
tight
it's
with work.
if you're scoring drugs, your drug dealer usually doesn't come with you in a car, but
Yeah.
escorts do. But I mean, you know,
Are we able to get multiple vehicles or even any unmarked vehicles from
Yes,
the
as
force?
per the last discussion, the armory does have unmarked vehicles that have discrete tracking built into them. Um,
Okay.
recording setups, cameras, etc. Um, for making people totally not accidentally admit to crimes.
Just thinking if we had two vehicles, then it would be more probable of like two guys rolling up and one asking for an escort for his friend versus a van of five people. And, we could just tail in a second vehicle.
Roll up asking for a group rate.
Hmm. I mean, maybe that's our specialty. I don't know.
But yeah, so you're already planning to head to the armory to pick up some relatively discreet armor. Um, I think the only one undecided is Kat as to whether you guys want her robot to come with you or the not robot.
I mean, if we're planning on just rolling up in cars and picking somebody up, then having a robot in the car makes less sense. I mean, partially, I try to leave it up to what does a player want to play.
Yep.
So that's up to you,
Well,
Helmet.
the robot has far less complicated things. Like the red button, I didn't even write down what that thing can do.
So robot chauffeur is what I'm hearing.
Think it can drive?
I mean, if not, I mean, I could drive the trailing vehicle. I think I had Dex. I mean, really, that's it that I would have. But if Tax is in the trailing vehicle or the secondary vehicle, we don't have to trail if we can talk to each other. Um, Makes it less obvious. Get tinted windows.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, we can do that. John and Tax. Then Calvin and Wada. Get two vehicles. My thought was Gage and Calvin in one. I'm open to discussion.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense
other three of
if
us can.
Gage is trying to uh get one for his friend. Makes sense for the friend to be there.
Calvin just doesn't go.
As long as we can set, we just got to make sure that the vehicle that Calvin's is, it's like the mic's always open. Hopefully, there's video surveillance that we can watch in the second vehicle, and that we can record for later usage. Birthday time or whenever we're just completed a hard mission, and we'll just play it in the lounge.
Right.
I need to see the facial squirms.
Okay. So, to the armory you go. How fancy of a first car are you attempting to requisition?
How is Sector 4? Is it known to be a nice place?
Which one are you going to? Calypso Lounge or Paradise Lounge? Sector 4 itself is upper middle class, like teetering on breaking that line.
I think you said both locations were in Sector 4.
Yes, but which bar are you going to, or location are you going to? My brain was looking at the different places before remembering. Oh right, Sector 4.
I don't know any difference between the two. So the first one?
Does anyone look up the locations for you?
Yes. Yes, I will
Of
do
course, the
so.
nerd's going to do that.
Hey, it's what I do.
I mean, truth be told, me knowing about a bar would probably be interesting.
Um, so Calypso Lounge, from your Google search, has a 4.9 rating. There's a couple bad reviews regarding incidents with bartenders, food coming back undercooked. It is one portion a dining restaurant experience, a dance floor that plays um, relatively clubby, sort of poppy kind of music, as well as where did I just get a beat from? What? Weird.
I heard a beep. Yeah.
Maybe my typing.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Well, like I have that screen focused, so it shouldn't beat. That's really weird. Um, and while being a fairly active cocktail lounge for the younger, um, like 25 to mid 30s, sort of well-to-do kind of clientele. Paradise Lost is a high-end rave bar. You walk in, the lights are out, strobe lights going off, flaring colors, top shelf alcohol being wasted.
Men in thongs.
If you're lucky. The first one you may be able to get away with having tax, giving him like a quick polish over, sort of as a secretarial droid, but has a fairly distinct, almost combat chassis. So that might give things away. I'm sure your mechanic would notice. Um,
Time to break them down, start over.
I'll say it's going to get to the point you're going to save up enough money to just have separate chassis. Just keep downloading and re-uploading them to different bodies. Becomes
Sounds like a goal.
duct tape Skynet,
Until he gets stuck in like 3 bodies at the same time.
all with different software versions. Paradise Lost, probably not gonna. It's dark-ish. Um, it's definitely gonna be the louder and more like just um, auditorily and visually noisy sort of environment.
Okay.
Calvin's Fugal Goo manages to note that it really doesn't get popping off there until about 10 at night, whereas Calypso Lounge starts. Can we requisition a different chassis? Unfortunately, no. Um, they almost never even issue mechanical units.
That's fine. It's just a combat droid through and through.
Yeah, it's one of those like, for some reason they kept being defective. Maybe that's why this one's on Catch 22's roster. It's like, I don't know why. We tell it not to kill things, and it just keeps killing. Calypso Lounge tends to get fairly lively earlier in the evening, especially with the dining side of things and the bar. The dancing and like the music doesn't tend to kick off until about 10, so about an hour difference between the two.
I mean, I don't know if people have a preference, but I wouldn't think, we're not planning on a gunfight, so in theory we don't need a loud, distracting club.
Yeah.
But going to the rich and fancy place means that you have to go for the fancier cars, which means if they get damaged, that's a higher dock of the pay.
Well, I don't think requisitioning stuff is really coming out of our pay unless we're unable to return it.
Yeah.
Or
I guess if it's getting all shot
yeah,
up.
if it's really messed up. Like,
Yeah,
a
that's what.
scratch, they'll let go, but you wreck the thing. Oh no, you paying for it.
I mean, that's what's insurance for.
You are the insurance. Yeah. Basically, I just need to know which of these locations you want to try. Um, car
Going to the
wise,
fancy
you get
place.
the green light for a surveillance unit, which comes as a unmarked uh, uh, black SUV. Fairly heavily tinted windows, enough that the blues won't pull you over because they can see some light going through, and most of them will kind of recognize who it belongs to if they work in the service, just because it's
Right.
fairly it's ubiquitous with, hey, this is either someone's like private security or this belongs to the city's private security.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, you get a fairly upper standard like two-door sports car for the lead car. And poor Williams is trying very hard not to sign off on this.
I mean, this is to help the entire force, right? We're trying to, bring some in, keep our civilians safe, gain informants, so that
Who
we
do
can do
you
our job better,
have doing the
keep each other safe.
requisitions, um, so that they can make the persuasion roll? I have strong, I guess, sneaking suspicion Gage might be the one driving.
Yeah.
Am I driving?
You should
If
probably
you'll get the
drive.
car, but first someone
Yeah.
has
I'm
to
pretty persuasive, so
you want the new girl to go requisition your vehicles for you?
Sure.
Techie's not a car person,
I
surprisingly.
mean, is she old enough to drive?
how old are you?
In his 30s?
She's probably older than you.
Possibly, but I mean, she looks like 14.
Meh.
Alright, but, well, someone just go ahead and roll me that persuasion to see if y'all get the car. Otherwise, you end up with a,
Oh yeah,
like,
persuasion.
mid-tier sedan.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm not that great at persuading.
Like, my understanding is Major Warren is typically the one that does your requisitioning as the group's original face.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, he can make the roll.
I mean, you also sabotage the role knowing that Gage is going to be the one getting to drive it.
This is true.
Entirely up to you.
Um,
Poor helmet. Both of my characters are negative in charisma.
where is persuasion?
And before you roll, do you want to be the success to accidentally get the lesser vehicle or to actually get the nice car?
No, if he can get the nicer car, because I mean, it still counts as a success for him that he doesn't have to be a part, and he still gets to go order the blues around for the afternoon or the night.
I just realized you're probably like the only one in the squad that actually likes patrol detail.
Yeah, I get to go order everybody around, get my own squad.
Linda Kiara's been upset.
All right. I'm trying to think of how to off-brand the word Porsche.
Short?
Porsche.
Porsche. That seems like a little standouty.
It's a you're going to a relatively upper tier. For the record, it's not a Porsche. That was just the first like fancy-ish car name that came to
Right.
mind. I'm like, how do I like what rhymes with Porsche, but also doesn't sound completely stupid? But insert made up car brand here. Is what Warren gets to show up at the front of the 22's headquarters
Yeah.
with.
Because I mean, if Warren has any say in this, he's basically like trying to get him like maybe something that's not going to stand out too much, like a Porsche, maybe like a BMW or an Audi or
Okay.
Lexus, something like that. That a high middle class type vehicle,
The
but
accountant's car.
yeah, exactly. Knowing who we're trying to get a date for, yeah, an accountant.
There you go. It will come in white.
Or a well-off drug dealer.
I figured, well, drug dealer would be in Lambo.
I don't know. I mean,
It depends on the
it's
drug
been my
dealer.
experience they drive a lot of BMWs.
Oh, yeah.
Mild squinting? And now. So your vehicles have been requisitioned. Um, just lounge or lost.
Lounge or what?
Which of the facilities you want to go to?
Boat lounge?
I hear one vote lounge.
I mean, I'm thinking lounge first. The rave is going to
Yeah.
be available later if need be.
I third lounge.
Okay.
Yep, lounge.
Fancy places are the best to wreck. True. Do we lose Spaz at some point?
I don't think he's still here.
No, I'm still here.
I heard from you in a hot second, so I wanted to make sure. So my understanding is Gage and Calvin in the Beamer, and the rest of the crew in the SUV.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
All right. It is And I'm assuming you want to wait until it's later in the evening, so you got a little bit of downtime if anyone has any downtime activities, i.e., getting mana back, effectively a short rest.
Um, probably.
As in, everyone gets a short
Gotta,
rest.
gotta get those clubbing clothes on.
But I can't change the chassis. Yeah, guess
I would
spit and
say,
polish will do.
yeah, you're gonna have to get spit and polish because until you can procure another chassis.
She just puts on different magnetic decals.
Magnetic bow tie.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so it is about 8 in the evening. You know that it should take you about an hour and a half if traffic's bad to get to Calypso Lounge. They're in the fourth sector. Assuming you want to arrive like as the place is starting to pick up steam. But it is open all the way until 3 in the morning. Otherwise, so you can arrive or attempt to arrive anywhere within that range.
Right.
Yeah, I think we'd want business to be going well because then there's more people to keep an eye on, more for us to blend in with.
Okay. About what time are y'all aiming for?
I think 9's when the cool kids show up.
Sure.
Sure.
Okie doke. Gage taking the keys to the Beamer with Calvin in tow, dressing up relatively well. Just gonna make my little traffic roll here. It's fairly light traffic for the evening. Um, you make it there about a quarter after 9.
Right.
The SUV ends up trailing behind you several car lengths as practiced. The place does have valet parking. Otherwise, you can park it yourself as you see fit. It has off street parking.
I mean, personally, I'd want to park it myself so I know exactly where it's parked, and I have the keys.
That's why you're delaying tax is following the letter of the law.
That was kind of my same thoughts on parking. If we
Okay.
need to get out quick, we need to know where it's at.
Um,
I mean, I figured I was going to be staying with the car.
Yeah.
so by the time that the SUV is pulling up, uh, Gage and Calvin are making their way into the fairly packed line to get vetted to get inside. Um, There's a 20 credit cover charge that only covers your first drink. And they are doing the ever so faithful like wand pass for weapon checks.
Okay.
I probably would leave my revolver in the car.
Okay. How about you, Gage?
Um, I'm going to attempt to sneak mine in, concealed.
Okay. So sort of move it away from the wand as it passes over particular regions. Just give me a sleight of hand.
Yeah. Boop.
Okay. So obviously the one tags as they roll a natural 16.
Okay.
Now you'll note it doesn't make an audible beep, but you do see like the light on the wand flare up, and the
Mm-hmm.
guy gives you a pretty stern look. This would be about the time that the nerd is paying for y'all's cover charge.
Right. This is like the more high scale place, right?
It is.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to convince this guy that I'm like private security for this investment guy and that I have a permit to carry this.
Okay. Deception.
Yeah, deception. Okay. That's gonna
Should have said
be
I'm half robot.
robot.
Just like that, he gets busted down to the lowest rank. Oh lord. Well, let's see if they match. Nope.
Yeah.
Um, holding the wand, like as he's making another pass, he takes his pointer and middle finger and lays it out on top of the wand visibly, basically hinting it's gonna cost you 200 to get in with your gun.
I think you grossly underestimate the amount of money
Uh
that
huh. You can make Calvin pay.
No, you cannot. Not with Callan's money. You are grossly overestimating.
You know, the investor.
We haven't been playing long enough to do that.
It's otherwise you got to hand over your gun.
fine. I'd pull out one of my guns and give it to him.
I caught that wording, sir.
I know.
I think we all did.
And he's gonna look at you like, I know better. But you gave him one. He kind of gauges it over. What was the rough value of this gun?
Give me just a sec. It's not the high dollar ones. Need that, need this, need gear.
The GM does not have the entire equipment list memorized.
Yeah, that's neither do I. Listed in here, it's tech level 1, so oh wait, that's 200. I was like, that's way more than what I paid for that gun.
Whoo boy! Just pull the
Yeah.
freaking cannon from under his coat.
Um, it's 500.
He just gives you a little head nod. As a
It's just a caseless pistol.
Yeah, Calvin, are you capable of covering the cover charge?
I am capable of covering our cover charges.
Okay.
The
It leaves
poor
me with
guy.
5.
I will say, and just like that, cover blown.
What's that?
All right. So
Oh.
stepping aside, you are immediately graced with fairly up tempo, but easy on the ears music. Um, there is a decent crowd already starting to form on the dance floor. That is almost immediately present, about 30 paces into the room, with the band just off to your left. Um, to the right is the dining area, slightly raised, and sort of almost a stadium style, to be able to look down and watch the stage performance. Across, you can see a marble topped and fairly well lit, via hanging light, bar top with glistening crystal glass behind, and a slew of patrons, um, of the more affluential and business oriented lifestyles, hobnobbing and enjoying their evenings. Um, at a glance, you do see a quick, probably 30 or 40 individuals who, at a quick glance, would have passed for your mark. But none that you haven't given any close scrutiny to as of yet.
I will do a perception check at that group.
Okay. Currently, you can see the individual dressed as the picture there on her bio, in fairly revealing but decently textured fabric, um, almost dead center at the marble countertop with her back to it. Just like a very casual air about her, um, with a fairly large man, probably weighing in upwards of the just sub 300 mark, trying oh so heavily to woo her as she sips ever so gently on a bright pink cocktail in my least favorite glass, the martini.
I will nudge Gage him, like surreptitiously gesture at her. That might be our person.
Right. Okay. Um. Do I see like the rest of the squad kind of in here casing the place, you might say?
As of yet, no. As you were coming in, you would have clocked them pulling into the parking lot.
Right. For now, I'm going to have let Calvin know that we probably don't want to approach her as soon as we come in. Um, I mean, obviously, you paid for one drink. We might as well have that
Yep, that was my
and
plan.
just lay low for a minute. See how this plays out with Jabba the Hutt over there.
Do you plan to wait for a attendant to make their way around to you, or
I probably
or
would make
approach
my
the
way to the
bar?
bar.
Okay. Uh, Calvin.
I'll follow John's lead.
Okay. Looking as sheepish as ever, I'm sure.
I yeah. As awkward as he would expect me to look in a club.
Okay.
It's awkward.
Yeah. That you have comms. They are
Hmm.
fairly low range for the discreet package. So about the time you guys hit the parking lot, you're relatively back in stable range. It's a matter if you want to try and talk to them, it will be a sleight of hand.
To get the comms in or weapons?
Weapons is going to be outright a sleight of hand, dexterity. But to like say you're in mid conversation, you want to say something just to the comms. It's a sleight of hand to sub vocalize.
Okay.
Noted, Calvin.
Would we know in terms of running surveillance in a club, how well does it work in terms of basically showing their security officers our badge and just saying, "Hey, we're on, doing some surveillance police work. We're
These
coming in."
aren't blues. Those are like actual like private security. It's not like LNS. This is like your
Right.
bouncer thuggy kind of guys. You, I don't know how much Moada would have dealt with it. But supposedly Gage would have told you that flashing your badge is probably the worst thing you could do in this area. Um,
Okay. That's what I was kind of guessing. I just wasn't for sure.
Police are bad for business.
Well, we'll probably try to bring in a knife or something, or brass knuckles, and find out if she's got something like that, something from melee. That's small.
Okay. If you plan to bring that in, I'll give advantage on the sleight of hand. It's small enough to be discreet.
Yeah.
Unless, we're talking like a Dundee Bowie knife.
No.
Small.
Welcome back, Calvin. Um, okay. And I'm assuming
So we gone in.
Moada has gone in.
I would be trailing right behind him.
Okay. Are you trying to sneak any small arms in?
No. I'm gonna leave my grenade launcher in the car.
Okie doke. All it takes is paying your cover charge to let you in. You just feel the robot sitting behind the wheel like, I hope they're getting receipts.
Obviously,
I
I
guess
would
it's
expect to
well.
check the pistol, check the slip.
But
Oh yeah,
double
I would
check
assume that
14, 14.
slipping a pistol in is kind of hard as well.
So, it takes about a minute and probably one soft vocalization into the comms to lock on where John and Calvin have meandered off to. But you do see them at the bar, just now, just getting the bartender's attention. It took you all a minute as he is just as amused to see what Jabba is going to say next.
Yeah.
The man's trying hard and is throwing way too many softballs. It's bad. Um, uh, see here. Gauge, with your passive, you are capable of catching. You don't catch exactly what she said, but she like does a little motion with her pinky finger that you're fairly sure demeaned the shit out of Jabba as he storms off, red faced.
Okay.
Um, comms is sleight of hand to activate, and it's only for sending.
Right.
Okay.
Um. So, since I'm pretty sure everybody has kind of made it in, I am going to like hide the, uh, like talking on the mic by like putting my glass up like I am taking a drink, but not actually
Mm-hmm.
taking a drink, and just basically say that I think the target is over by the bar. Um, I will attempt contact shortly.
All right, roll me that sleight.
Yeah, I am. I was looking it up again. There we go.
Ooh. Okay. So y'all hear that?
Hold on. Let me double check something.
As he almost chokes.
It comes over very bubbly. And Tax, you do get a clean transmission from Mawada.
I mean, I would give an update, but I don't know what's a parking lot. What happens in it? Squirrels?
It's like leave the dog in the car. No. Um. Did I actually update? Shit. Playlist. No tracks. I hope this is the right one.
Yeah, can you repeat that last com?
Poor Gage.
Because I was like kind of right there. Can I?
You're
Be like,
welcome to attempt. Yes. Um, Gage, you're pretty sure like her head does like this very subtle look in your direction. Her eyes never move towards you behind the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she spins on her heel and whispers something to the bartender before moving her way to the other end of the bar. Oh, it's Lord Calvin.
Right.
hey, it's better than Gage's.
I mean, I
Well,
guess.
I will point out mine should have been a 7, but it still would have been a 1 on the die. But yeah.
So yeah, not even better than Gage's.
See, do you understand why I was like, you don't want me talking?
Yes, indeed.
I have 2 good stats. They are intelligence and vigor.
Hyde did he's using a comms. He's like pulls out a full size walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie. I think we see the target. Over.
Right.
But so Honeydew, for the best you can tell, is she stops at the far end of the bar, leans over and starts talking with another young lady, about very early 20s, shoulder length, auburn hair, and purple lipstick, who briefly locks eyes with Calvin right as he's like trying to gingerly pull his hand back away from his comms and look up and down the bar, and gives a slight chuckle.
Right.
Before the space between you is soon filled up with other patrons coming to order drinks.
Right. If I'm kind of like potentially losing sight of her, then I'll get up. Being the comms aren't really working real well in here, I'm gonna just like pull out my cell phone and text everybody that because that's not gonna look out of order
then
here.
You don't get the text. Just a heads up.
I'm not on the list.
Yeah, you're not in the group chat.
Yeah, you're not on the group chat.
Oh, wow, that kid said so long.
Yeah. But just basically text that
She's with the comms.
target is on the move, going to try to follow her. But yeah, just I'm gonna try to approach her. Begins checking his cell phone admission.
I will note Moada, and then you are approached by a server for your comp drink. That's part of your cover. About the time that you see Moada pull his cell phone out, Finn. As you make your way around the crowd, Gage, you see she is still there, but the auburn-haired girl is currently walking into a back room. And
He's headed to.
yeah, not like a washroom or something, but a sectioned off area, but is making no a coy attempt to hide that she's looking dead at you as you come around the corner with a beckoning like, come on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with this.
Okay. So Calvin, you soon lose eyes on Gage, as does the rest of the crew present.
We'll pull the phone out and send a text to the group chat.
Okay.
To the group chat.
Give me a active perception, please.
Everyone?
Okay. Again, no, that's Calvin. One drink already, headed to the bathroom. And you gotta remember, he's used to drinking scooch, not cocktails. Um,
So do we know that he's like? Does it seem like he's going to the bathroom, or like a different like private back room area? Like we're
I'm
trying to
assuming
watch.
that being like led somewhere by the brunette, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Which, for the record,
Okay.
you didn't. Neither you nor Finn noticed said brunette. You saw Gage. You got Gage's text. By the time you looked up, you saw him get lost in the crowd as he turned around a corner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It takes a couple minutes before you. Lets you know it's gonna be a little bit before we get your drink. But they'll be sure to find you wherever you meander off to in the club. As when you get the "What do you mean you lost him?" sort of text, Calvin, there is a strongly scented, sweet smell next to you that it's not overbearing, but it's an undeniable presence.
Look over.
And she's like right there, just
Yeah, I had a hunch.
she brought her right down.
Alright, so sorry. You're saying we've lost Gage, and
you
there's a woman sitting next to Calvin.
You turn to order your drink, and you look at your phone briefly. You look up. You see Gage get lost in a crowd, and your eyes track back to where Calvin is. And like as the crowd is shifting between you and the bar, you catch just the briefest appearance of like red fabric on a fairly short individual approach next to him.
That's not our
Do
girl.
we
is
know
it?
what Honeydew looks like?
You do.
You about to rape Calvin.
It's the woman that we thought was Honeydew. Or think.
At a glance, this is matching the picture that you saw in the dossier, down to her fairly direct choice in clothing.
Okay.
As she looks so that her sunglasses tilt down just enough so her eyes catch over the rim. Some squirrels started fighting. Anyone want to bet duct tape?
I will give her the awkward nerd smile.
You know, it's easier to do business if you're not going to send your security guard at me.
He's better with people than I am.
Oh, are we shy?
Yes.
She does 3 little taps on the bar, which, for far as you know, is her like ordering a drink, but the bartender pays it absolutely no mind. And your like underworld criminal guy is now not here to translate what that means.
Yep.
And yes, Finn, I'm fairly sure Calvin currently has his comms open.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome to try and make an insight check, as passively you have no fucking idea what that can mean.
+1, here we go. Oh, better than expected.
It's better. He's a virgin. Comes over. Like, as you were trying to decipher this, you were distracted by, like, hearing in your ears, oh god, he's a virgin.
Well, I should have turned it off.
Just, like, mild twitch. Is this your... Oh, sugar. Is this your first time?
That time was both in and out of character. 'Cause I could feel it.
What?
I know what.
What? She's talking about hiring. She's not talking about whether or not you've done the horizontal tango there, buddy.
Yes.
She like has to stand on her tiptoes to whisper in your ear. 300.
Oh. How do I?
You got
How?
a split second before she's leaning back down.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford 200.
You couldn't
I'll-
afford to.
I will whisper back. My brain stopped all of a sudden.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No.
Yes. Do I know like any street terms for
Do
Dark
you?
Efren?
Probably not.
Can I make an intelligence check?
Sure. Roll high enough, I'll let you make a street term.
Please don't.
We'll just go with the closest thing, freak. Which, in this context, might not help you at all.
No. With the context, no, it does not at all.
You're trying to say that like there's the split second that he has some, he's like got 3 or 4 words he can say as she's about to
Yeah.
like get off her tippy toes and out of whisper reach.
So, we know that she wants out of here, more or less, right?
That is your understanding, yes. But like I said,
Yeah.
you got like between 3 to 4 words.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Scorpion. I'm making this harder than it is.
Oh, don't worry, we're about to pan over to him soon.
Okay, good.
Just need your words, because
Yeah.
in real life you got 1 more minute.
Okay. So we know it's Orlanson's shield, right?
Correct.
I got. How about Lance instead?
Lance instead?
I'm trying to be somewhat clever here. Leave me alone.
I know. I'm just.
Did you obviously pick the phallic one? That's all.
Yeah. Look, shield would not have made sense.
I pretty Lance recommends too. Just give me a general charisma check.
Flat D20, got it.
Okay. She rocks back on her heels, and there's like just this most like precociously adorable smile on this woman as she grabs the trim of your coat and basically starts pulling you away from the bar.
I will let her lead me. This is gonna be bad, I assume, because it's me, but you know.
Panning over to Gage to wrap up our scene for the night. Gage, as you walk in the room behind, just behind the woman, Like there's a brief moment of the door swinging. You step inside and you feel a barrel press up against your sternum.
Okay. What type of gun is it?
You're fairly sure that it is a probably 44 cal handgun.
Okay. I think there might be some type of a misunderstanding here. I'm just looking for the restroom.
Um, as a door like swings to shut behind you, there is a 5'9", dark-skinned gentleman, very well dressed, clean cut, that is holding the gun. And kind of just cocks his head. It's an odd thing to say, following a woman. You calling one of my girls a restroom?
One of your girls.
I didn't stutter.
Who do I have the privilege of talking to? Prefer to do this eye to eye.
You have to like slightly look up at him. Like he's not hiding. He's in plain
But you
view.
said like press to the sternum, so I'm assuming
Yeah, like
this
your,
was
your,
like
your
hiding
chest.
behind the door, stepped out to.
Like as you came in the door, expecting to see the woman, he swooped up in front of you, and like as you closed the door behind you,
Gotcha.
so you are face to face. But those that know just know me as Alex. As again, you calling my girl a restroom?
No.
Twists the gun and holsters it with a grin. Shit, man, I would just charge you an extra 100 for that. The scrawny little shit, your boss. Figure we'll take care of you while Pixie takes care of him.
We? Not really in for that. That usually costs extra.
He just gives you a look of like, you're not getting service. Unless your boss is cool with you putting it on his tab.
I don't think the corporation would be cool with this tab.
I think they would, if, as long as it's part of the cover.
Like properly documented.
Properly documented.
Here. Been there, done that. I've done my share of detail work. Go ahead, kick your feet up for a bit. He's safe here. I had a feeling you ain't gonna tell me what firm he works for, huh?
I'm not at liberty to say.
I haven't seen that scrawny little shit in my bar before.
You haven't?
No.
He said he comes here all the time.
Hey, just charge 600 damages.
What damages? There hasn't been any damages yet.
I think it's that last word that's the issue.
What, the yet?
Yes.
Alright.
To the beds.
Well, have yourself a drink. I don't know how long your employer tends to enjoy his evening.
not really sure. That's really up to him. But to be clear, you say this is your bar?
In a roundabout way.
Like you covering like the back end of the bar? In a roundabout way?
In a roundabout way.
Interesting. And what was your name again?
Alex will do just fine.
Alex. Well, nice to meet you, Alex. I think I better be getting back to my charge.
Well, if she's as good as she ever is, I'm pretty sure she's got him pretty tied up right about now. Unless there's a reason you're trying to hurry on out of here.
I'm sure you can respect the. We all need to protect our protect where our money comes from, you might say. And I'm just here today to make sure he's having a good time. But he's kind of new to this.
Oh, you gotta go in there and give him pointers.
God, I hope not.
Help him with his aim.
He actually gives a proper laugh at that.
Right. Just make sure all the prices are on the up and up.
Well, if he's hired her out for the night, that's about 3.
Right. And I hear that she also deals in I should say side entertainment enhancements, you might say.
She's been known to spread some sweets around. What you in the mood for?
Well, I mean, not real sure. I hear there's some new stuff out there that I've not had a chance to sample.
Are you someone of
Yeah,
refined palate in my midst?
I wouldn't say that. Just when the new stuff hit the streets, like to know what's out there. Can't exactly suggest it to people if you don't, know what it's like.
There's a sharp whistle that issues from his lips, and you see the auburn-haired woman currently was lounging off in the corner. Steps behind like a beaded curtain, and you can hear the sound of a suitcase like clasp opening. Oh, then you may want to take a seat. I'll let you know just how good it is. That's where we fade to black.